Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be decorating some glass jars. So for our first design, you will need a hot glue gun, heat it up, something preferably to hold the jar on upside down when we put the paint on, some paint, preferably thin paint that is really runny, and paint brushes and some sealing spray. So our first step will be to take the label off the jar. Okay, so once you are done getting the wrappers off as best you can, your next step is to get your hot glue gun and do whatever design you want it. I'm just gonna do a name because it was my friend's birthday recently and I still need to do a birthday present and send it off to her. So, yes. So once you are done that, whatever you do it now, you can do names, you can do pictures, whatever you want. Sometimes just blobbing it makes it look neater. Experiment with the way that works best for you. Sometimes it's blobbing, sometimes it's just doing it in a line. And some effects can give you a bit different effects. Like this one gives you more of a cloud effect, I think, anyway. Which was, I just did it in a straight line, sort of. So you will wait for, once this is dry, once the glue is dried, I'm just going to leave it a couple extra minutes. We will go to we'll put some paint on it. Now, one tip, you can put hot glue on after you've done the paint, but it's best to put hot glue on before you do the paint, just in case you make a mistake and you want to erase it, so you don't have to nearly take everything off and repaint again. It's better to just do the hot glue first. Then if piece of hot glue does fall off, that's when you go and, after you've put the paint on, that's when you go and do it. So now that's done, I use bottles to give it a bit more height and to make it easier to move. And so the paint so you don't get paper when you pull it off this. Make sure you also, for this part, you will also need paper on the bottom. And yes. So get your paint. For this part, we want it to be thick. We want it to be thin paint, so very runny paint, because it dries better and it's not as sticky when it dries. The thicker the paint, the more sticky it will get. So your next step is to just tip the paint bottle over the top and squeeze. Making sure you bring it to the edge and also let it run down. So satisfying. Now leave it, let it run a bit, then just see where you want to put more now. Blah. And then, once you're done most of it, because sometimes where the curve goes downwards, you can tend to sometimes miss the paint. You can just get some more paint, or you can just thin it out over that area. So there is literally no spots that are clear unless that's what you want. So yes, and then your next step is to just let it dry. So for your next one, while this one is drying, is going to be more of a marbly effect. So I'm not going to do any I'm just not going to do any what's it called? I'm just not going to do any hot glue or anything this time. This time I'm just going to do paint. So for the marble effect, you'll want 2 colors. Actually, I may do a half and half. We're done with that one. So for our third one, I'm actually not even going to bother painting the side, this whole thing in. I'm just going to use hot glue. And I'm just going to draw stuff on it. Wait for it to dry. And so basically, I'm going to do light blue and dark blue. So light blue, so dark blue, that one's dark blue, I'm not colorblind. Light blue. Some paintbrush, the paintbrush. The thinner the paintbrush, the better the paintbrush for this. Yep. That works. The thinner the paintbrush. And then you'll just start dabbing it over the area you want it. We'll just need to let it dry, and I'll see you when these three are all dry. Alright, so now we're done. It's been a few days, since this does take a few days to dry. So basically our next step is to basically just paint the hot glue where the hot glue is in a different colour. So I'm basically just going to do a dark blue. Right, so now I am done that one. So that's that one done. I'll put that back upside down. So now, since it's sort of a little messy here, since I left this part on, I'm just going to use blue to paint around the edge and in the gaps, so it's a little bit better, this dark blue. So once these are dry, we won't bother, I won't bother spraying them here, but all you'll do is you'll just get some spray that seals the paint on. Now, I'm not using the right paint, so it doesn't seal as good, but really, if you look at what you're going to get before you paint and you get the right paint, it should seal on properly. Now, I think this one does seal on glass. I think it's just the poster paint that's a problem here. And I've got the wrong one. So it doesn't seal the poster paint as well as it would something like acrylic or something. And I did use the poster paint mainly because of thinness, and with how sticky it won't be then. That's the only reason why I used this one. But yeah. So these are the jars. I will show you them now and I will spray them off camera, and yeah, so but basically they really just look the same once you've sprayed them anyway, as they do like this. So this is number 3, which is already done, which yeah. This one's number 2. Which still needs a little bit of drying, and this one is number 3. Like some other ones I've done, like I've done one for most of the birthdays I've had this year so far, but this is the one I did for myself. And this other one I did on the I actually put the paint on the inside and just moved it around. But what I found out was the paint came off easier, even though since it's so thick though, the paint hasn't really came off that much though. But it's really sticky, and if it's a paintbrush that has been down there for a while, it can get stuck down the bottom. So those types of ones I find are better for show. But there's one other one which came out better than that one. Which is this one, which is just, I just found a jar with an old lid that was cool. And I just did that, and it was done on the inside as well. So really, my opinion with this is, if you want a really good marble effect, you do it on the inside. But beware that it will either stick, the paint will either get too sticky, or it will scratch the paint when you put stuff in. And that's basically why I haven't put anything in this. I didn't even want to know whether it smells or not in here. So that is it for today's video. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.